Good morning, Whimsy Ray fans. This is Rachel coming at you this morning. Today is Saturday the 13th of March. I am trying to vigorously open my little package so I can share with you one of the art pieces that I did probably about close to 6 months ago. Possibly 6 months ago, maybe not even 6 months ago. I'm not sure. I did a video on this, and it's how to draw a tree. It's a real simple video. There's a time-lapse one, and then there's also an extensive one that will put you to sleep if you need a nap and you're having a hard time sleeping. I've heard that my voice can be quite soothing at times. So anyway, this is one of the mixed media art pieces I did. The background is in acrylic, and it is blended to make it look like a little bit of a sky blue effect. And this was mainly to focus on the tree and the technique in the soft pastel or chalk, is a better way to say it. I prefer to say soft pastel because there is different brands of soft pastel, different types of chalk. There is, yeah, that's another video altogether. But basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and then of course there's my Tina Turner in the background, tribute to Tina Turner, is basically how to motivate yourself to do art. I've heard a lot of people get in, issues when they start something, like they can really start a project and get into it, and then they end up kind of stuck on an art piece. I've seen a lot of social media about that with various different artists. Some artists tend to scrap their art, start over, but it's the motivation to do it or to finish it, to complete it, see it through, which is very, very common in a lot of artists. You'd be surprised. I have an issue with that myself. I struggle with it at times. It just depends on the project. Some of it is a little bit of like anxiety to hurry up and finish, or some of it is I think it's going to take less time than what it actually really truly takes to do a piece. And now I think for me personally, that's my biggest challenge. Like when I did this video, I thought I could be done with this in like less than a half hour. And the reason why is because it seems so simple, But, and I'm not talking about the background, because of course you gotta allow paint to dry, things like that. But even then, it takes time for paint to dry. It takes time for things to naturally appear when you're doing your art, to create techniques, to learn things. It takes time to learn things. And I feel like even with myself, I have to stop, even as an adult, allow myself the time to learn, the time to grow, the time that it takes to finish a piece, and not to allow myself to get too overly frustrated with that piece or with my emotions, with my thought process in finishing the art. So that's kind of basically what I wanted to hone in on today, is if you are struggling with those things, one of the things that I learned a long time ago, I'd say when I was a teenager, long story short, I met an individual that I kind of knew from childhood, from birth, basically. A man that I respected. He was well respected in his community, and I was asked to volunteer for a project of his. He asked me to volunteer for it, and I told him that I was having difficulty. We were in the middle of the project, and I said, I'm having difficulty finishing this project with you. I apologize. I just haven't been motivated. It involved me in my part of the project as a teenager. At first I was motivated, excited, privileged, honored to be a part of the project. And then as time went on in the project, I found myself, I gotta finish this project. I didn't want to meet up with them. There was times when we had to meet and do things. Of course, being online on the internet's different now. You don't have to go to somebody's house and blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit different, right? But even still with that, the process is very similar. You still have to go through processes. There's stages in a project. So in a nutshell, he told me something I thought was very profound, very interesting, and I carry it with me to this day. And that is motivation With motivation at times, for myself, I find it takes the self-discipline to finish the project, to see it through, to go ahead and grow, to take those small steps, to walk through it, work through it, step by step by step. In other words, you're not going to always be motivated to do anything, getting out of bed for that matter. Sometimes you don't even feel motivated to eat, and you like to eat possibly. I know that's me sometimes. To take vitamins, if you take vitamins. To exercise. I don't know how many athletes I've seen in the Olympics who they wake up and they're not motivated to do the same thing again for several hours. So what do? Basically, they discipline themselves to do what it is that it takes to get the job done. That's what they do. So for a quick analogy, or I don't know if that's the proper term, I would suggest you visualize yourself if you've ever rode a bike up a hill. I usually take my thoughts, my process into that. And I think I'm at a middle of a hill. It's like the worst time ever to feel like you need to stop. You're extremely tired, you're short of breath, and it's in the summertime, you're hot, and you're on a bike, and there's nobody there. And it's just you. And you're stuck there, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get up this hill. I got to get up this hill. I'm halfway there. I thought I could make it. I thought I was tougher, stronger, blah, 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 blah. And all that disappointment starts to sink in, and you have to stop. It's okay. Stop. Take a breath. And whatever you got to do, if you need to get off the bike, your legs could be shaking, trembling. You got to get up the hill to get home. You have to. It's what you got to do. So that's my analogy, my motivation for you today. Work through it. There's no simple solution to anything. I guess I could say there is a simple solution. It's just doing the work is the difficult part. And that work involves you and your personal effort. Some people, it's training. They train themselves, right? And some people have personal trainers. Well, when you're an artist, you don't always have that. So what do? Well, you seek out people with social media, you watch YouTube videos such as these, and you do what you can to find that self-discipline to get you to take that next step, to take that breath, and then take that bike and push it on up that hill. So that's my quick tidbit for you today. Sorry it took so long to get to the point, but thank you for watching. Hey, subscribe to my channel so you can get that little bit of to get you on up that hill, to motivate you. And believe it or not, we finished that project and the motivation came later. It did. I felt proud of myself that I worked through it. It wasn't necessarily a reward like a grade or anything for a paper like you get in school. It was an accomplishment of an inner feeling, maturity level. Something grew within me that helped me to realize, okay, this is what it takes to be successful at little small step. So thank you for watching. Again, subscribe to my channel. This is Rachel with Whimsy Artistry. If you want to look at this video, it's there's, like I said, a 2-minute time lapse on how to draw a tree in soft pastel. I tried to make it as simple as possible. Believe it or not, these are just tiny little dots if you've never seen the video, but it's the color. So again, thanks for watching.